The following is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome, Deadites, to part 3 of What If Deku was Wolverine. Last time we left off on Logan training Arena and Nana, respectively, and we'll pick up there in a moment. However, I have a flashback for you all.
Logan, have you spoken with the Buckago family yet?
Inko asked at dinner. Logan kept chewing on a steak awkwardly.
Logan Creed, you will go speak with them as soon as possible. Do you hear me?
Inko was wearing one of those super serious motherly faces. You know the one. Logan just sighed. There was no fighting around this. Inko sends Mitsuki a text, and the Buckago family arrives at the house within the hour.
Inko, I brought a key,
said Kish, dropped on the floor as Mitsuki lays eyes on Logan chilling on the couch with his kid sisters in between each arm.
Oh my god. Izuku, is that you, dear?
Logan gets up and hugs Mitsuki.
Hi, Aunt Mitsuki. Uncle Masaru. Ka-chan. And I go by Logan now.
Mitsuki was in tears and hugging the hell out of Logan. Katsuki was staring dead at him in disbelief.
Where have you been, young man?
Before he can answer, Colossus walks in from the backyard, so Logan just exposes his claws. You're the friggin' Wolverine? I can't believe that all this time you've been alive and you didn't... There's a bigger story, isn't there? Logan looks at Inko and she tells them the story while Logan goes back to spoiling his sisters to a point. Katsuki mentions wanting to go to UA, and that's when Logan drops that he's getting in without testing. Katsuki doesn't really complain because this is Logan, the Wolverine we're talking about here. But at the same time, he's slightly irritated. A part of him just feels like he's riding off the coattails of his fame, but at the same point in time, he's already a hero. So Katsuki draws the line that he's doing this to either step his game up or have some semblance of a normal teenage life after hearing what he heard. Guess I'll see you there. Logan sighed at his friend's cockiness. Don't get cocky, Katsuki. Sure, you've got a good quirk, but I've seen things that could end you in seconds. Katsuki did not take that scolding well, not at all. He charges out to the backyard to get away from Logan to see the rest of the X-Force and Jubilee. Okay, maybe, just maybe, he was right, but I'm still mad at him. Katsuki did introduce himself politely to them. He seemed to get along well enough with Negasonic, Yukio, and Jubilee. Wade irritated him to a point, and Domino, just about everybody likes Domino. But about Negasonic and Jubilee, they all have explosive type quirks. However, they're all different variants. Like Negasonic's is obviously like sonic power and waving and all of that. Jubilee's got more of an energy firework thing going. And Buckago is just a flat out traditional explosion. But yeah. Their quirks are similar, so they have some room to bond, so to speak. They can't really put their quirks on display at the moment. It's a big ass explosion will get the authorities called, countryside or not. Hey, don't get so mad at Logan. He had a duty to uphold, and he couldn't risk getting his loved ones involved. You're his friend, so maybe he'll let you come to Genosha to train for the exam. Logan was chilling in the den having a beer with the adults. Keep in mind that so much as to get a buzz, he'd need to drink amounts that quite frankly would kill a human being. And even then, the speed at which he'd have to consume it is ridiculous. So yeah, they're allowing him to drink. Logan heard the entire conversation. She's right, you know. We got schools on Genosha if your parents say yes, that is. With that, Logan made it clear that the power was all in his parents' hands. They both knew their son's aspirations, and living on Genosha, an island where he could freely train his quirk and have access to some of the world's greatest minds and heroes, there was no way in hell they were going to let Katsuki miss that chance. They'd miss him, but this is for the best. With that out of the way, let's skip forward to the current. It was the middle of summer break, so there was no school. However, Inko had some other plans for the day since she felt her girls were missing their brother.
Toshinori, how about we spend a few days relaxing? You've got all this vacation time you never spend, and the girls miss Logan.
All Might gave his wife a stern look.
Alright, I miss him too.
With that, Toshinori made a few phone calls. One of said calls was to the Buckago family. It's not like a Blackbird type deal, but the way they got there was rather quick, so they made it there within hours. And they also skip Genosha's customs. Being related to the guy that runs the island has its benefits. The group is greeted by Katsuki and Jubilee.
Hi guys, welcome to our home. Katsuki and I will show you around on your way to the Creed estate. Rina, Nana, your room is just the way you two left it.
Only two people in the party had been there were Rina and Nana. While they had their own room, they often dropped in on their brother. They would knock, of course, since Raven and Logan are a couple and share a room. Speaking of sharing rooms, Jubilee and Katsuki are also a thing. They bonded over X-Force training and basic schooling. The two would hang out often and came to like the other's company, so things went from there, and oh boy did they go. However, they're playing it safe, and Jubilee will be staying in her room for the rest of his parents' stay. However, this action does nothing to fool Mitsuki.
Jubilation. Is my boy treating you right at night?
Jubilee does a spit take of the water she had been drinking, and that was all the answer she needed. Logan shoots Katsuki a knowing look. Only difference is his mother already knew about him and Raven since he'd told her. He was done keeping secrets from Inko. The girls chose to stay with Logan for the majority of their break, and nothing bad happened, short of the usual X-Force stuff that Rita would beg her brother to let her join.
Sorry, Wild Thing, but you just ain't old enough for this.
He didn't even feel bad about that. He was doing missions well before he was her age, but that was under the watch of a very horrible man. Logan was not about to let his sister go quite yet. Months pass, and we get to the time the sludge attack would have happened. However,
The two people that said Sludge attacks aren't even in Japan at the moment. So I'm gonna say All Might caught him and sent him to the police without problem. Especially since he doesn't have a damn time limit. Within that amount of time, Jubilee made the team officially. And I'm on the fence to where Katsuki is an official member or just joins for missions every now and again. Freelance work type deal. So I've got a poll for you guys. Is Katsuki X-Force or is he freelance? So with that, back to the story. Now keep in mind that they have been basically training for at least a year. And they've got several months left till the test. Some islanders aren't going to like the fact that Katsuki is with X-Force since he's an outsider. You have no idea how long that waiting list is to join the X-Force in the first place. But yeah, there are a lot of powerful people on the island, and the X-Force is more than just these guys. It's just these guys are the A-team. And while I guess their least powerful member would probably be Mystique, she isn't exactly a titan amongst the rest of the A-team of the X-Force, but she is no laughing matter. Remember, while she's no Colossus, she possesses heightened strength and agility on top of her accelerated healing and seeming agelessness. I know you guys are wondering about Nightcrawler. We'll get to there later. Being around all these amazing people would calm Katsuki down a notch or two. He knows full well he's not the top dog. About a week before the test, the Creed Yagi family, yes, Inko kept the Creed name in honor of Logan and Vincent. They were having a picnic of sorts at the park. The girls were swinging on the playground when Rena and Logan caught wind of an odd smell. She was confused for a second, but Logan had his claws out and was ready. Rena did the same when she noticed, and Nana armored up, combining vibranium and adamantium. Her two bracelet. When Toshinori saw this, he made to protect his wife, and Mystique pulled out her gun. A grisly fur-clad woman with claws came lunging at Logan. Said attack is parried by Logan, and he hurls the assailant up to Rena and Nana after giving her a good amount of damage. Shallow, but not too deep, but deep enough to hurt. Rena goes in for an attack, but is surprised that the wound had healed mostly. Rena was taken by a roundhouse kick to the barrel. Nana came in with a haymaker, followed by a left hook and an uppercut, which sent the assailant flying. Logan and Rena came from different angles. Logan struck her with a downward slash, while Rena went with an upwards to the left slash. Nana knocked the attacker out with a curb stomp. When they had her sufficiently tamed, they splashed water on her face. "Well, ain't this a lovely way to treat your Aunt Victoria?" Victoria smugly stated. "Save me the antics, Aunt Vicky. You were in league with some majorly bad people, but you were doing good. You had reformed and were happily raising your..." Oh no. That's when it clicked in Logan's head. "They've got Graydon, don't they?" Victoria was silent for a moment. "Look, you can say whatever you want about me, but if I don't do this, I'm told my son is as good as dead. Some dude with shadows for a face gave me that." Victoria pointed her head at a small tablet showing live footage of her son being held in some dark room. "So, I've got a poll here for you. Yes, another one. Shall I keep true to the canon to a point and make Graydon quirkless, or shall he have a partial of his mother's quirk? Because his father will be quirkless."
And let's be clear, there will be no anti-mutant rally since there's no freaking point. Over 80% of the world has a quirk. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to go that route. But back to it, shall we? Logan's face twisted in horror as he witnessed one of his worst nightmares was still alive. Omega Red. Ah, good. You are watching this, Wolverine. I assume you and your sisters have bested your aunt. Or most likely you. If you wish to see the boy again. The door came crashing down. Omega Red was greeted by the X-Force, minus Wolverine and Mystique. Buckago was even on this mission. He looked good in the suit, and some Islanders, like I said, aren't going to be happy, but this was situational, and the extra firepower really helped. But Omega Red made to kill graded, but Buckago's AP autocannon took care of his tendrils, and Colossus went to toe with Omega Red, along with help from Yukio. Demolition Team had to be cautious of their quirks in this situation. Gambit was at work picking the lock, but it wasn't really working. Domino tried her luck, and it worked. Show off. There was a poof of blue smoke, and then Graydon was gone. Good going, Kurt. Yes, you heard that right. Before any of you say how, considering Raven's age, he was created via modified cloning and possesses the genetics of Mystique and Azazel. Due to Azazel's death, Raven chose to take him to Genosha. He was technically her son, and he didn't ask to be created. And as far as how he was created, Azazel took a genetic sample of Mystique without her permission and made his boy. Even if Mystique isn't necessarily ready to be a mother, this Genosha is surrounded by people that would help her out with this. And she's got a very supportive boyfriend in the form of Logan, and I'm sure Inko wouldn't mind being a grandmother. Now, in this instance, Kurt can teleport at least a mile away, but no further at his current since he's Nana's age. Cloning can be weird. Omega wasn't happy about that little development, not at all. How dare you cost me my revenge? I will kill you! I'm sorry, my Russian accent is not that good. Before Omega could even act on that, Colossus knocks him in the air and Negasonic blasts him even further up with Jubilee's help. Kotsky followed up by exploding himself closer towards Omega, then following through with a mini version of the howitzer impact. He discovered it on the spot there. They were in the air for this, by the way, obviously, like I said. Omega Red's not going to be a problem for now since he's in the negative zone prison, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of, well, security measures for him to get out on that one. And with that little problem out of the way, the teenagers can focus on UA and being teenagers. Good thing too, since the entrance exam is next week for them. Rest easy, Deadites, and remember, the night is yours.